February 2023 is in the books. The real estate market has been wild over the last couple of years, but today we're going to see how it performed in February of 2023. Some of these stats completely shocked me, so if you're thinking of buying or selling, I have some great info for you in today's video. Hey everybody, it's your friend Kyle Winn, and if you've never seen any of my videos, I am your real estate expert here in Southern California, specifically in Riverside County. Now, real estate is always a popular topic in the news, and you'll often find conflicting reports, so let's cut through all of that nonsense and see what's happening here at home in Riverside County. But before we do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you never miss my monthly market update videos. The number of new listings that hit the market typically finds an annual low in the month of December and then quickly picks up again in January. This was true this year with about 2,700 new listings in January, but then that dropped to about 2,350 in February. And it's actually pretty common to see fewer new listings in February compared to January, and I think that's because February is kind of in this weird spot between January, when people list right after the holidays, and then the typical jump in activity we see in the springtime like April or May. But overall, February tends to be a rather slow month for new listings, but we usually see around 4,000 hitting the market in February, so we actually have very few people looking to sell at the moment. The number of closed sales in January was about 1,550 homes, which is the lowest number of closings we've seen in a single month in Riverside County since January of 2008, but that bumped up to over 1,850 in February. Now, for this time of year, we would typically expect to see somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 sales, so closed sales are down about 15 to 25% from where we would expect them to be. Now, compare this to what I just told you about the number of new listings. From January to February, the number of new listings decreased about 13%, but then closed sales increased about 19%. So what does that mean? Well, let's find out. Let's talk about month supply, which is how long it would take to sell all the properties that are currently listed if no new listings came on the market. This metric is a key indicator of whether we're in a seller's market, a neutral market, or a buyer's market. Now, we say a seller's market is when the month supply is less than 3 months, a neutral market is 3 to 5 months, somewhere in there, and above that we're in what we call a buyer's market. Now, in Riverside County, the month supply was 2.6 months in January, which dropped to 2.5 months in February. Now, since the number of new listings decreased from January to February, but the number of closed sales increased from January to February, it makes sense that the month supply did decrease over that same period, since we now have less supply with higher demand. Overall, we are still in a seller's market. Inventory is low, so buyers don't have too many homes to choose from at the moment. And even though we've seen a slight increase in buyer demand lately, there are far fewer buyers in the market compared to the last couple of years, making it easier for buyers to secure a home today. Now, for you sellers out there, even though it is considered a seller's market, don't get too excited thinking you can just list your house and get dozens of offers on the first day. I just told you there are fewer buyers out there compared to the buying frenzy of 2020 and 2021. So let's see what it takes to successfully sell a house today. One metric we use to understand the current market is the median number of days on market, which was 42 days in January, and that increased to 44 days in February. Now, this is the longest it has taken to sell a home here in Riverside County in at least 4 years. Now, with the very low inventory we have, you'd think homes would be selling much faster than that, but keep in mind, affordability has put many buyers on the sidelines with home values and interest rates as high as they are today. If you've seen any of my other market update videos, you've heard me say that the average sale price tends to bottom out sometime in the last few months of the year and then starts to increase again in the first part of the new year. This year is no exception, as the average sale price has increased to about $646,000 for the month of February, which is the highest it has been since August of 2022. Now, the average sale price in Riverside County hit an all-time record high of about $711,000 in April of 2022, but now at about $646,000, the average sale price is still higher than any time before 2022. It's a great time for you homeowners thinking about selling, since values are higher than any time before 2022, and they seem to be on the way up again as we head into the busy springtime market. Plus, you want to keep in mind that every year the average sale price tends to peak between April and June, and knowing that the median number of days on market is at 44 days, you should really consider listing your home for sale in late March or early April at the latest, which means you should be calling your favorite realtor right now in order to maximize your proceeds in 2023. One topic we see in the news every single day is mortgage interest rates. We started February with a 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate around 6.25% or so, but that increased to about 6.9% by the end of the month. Now, I know this number looks scary to some of you thinking about buying a home, especially when your friends got an interest rate in the threes a year or two ago, but I would really encourage you to reach out to speak to me or an experienced realtor and lender, and we will show you many ways to help you afford to make that move. I honestly think this is the best time for buyers to shop for a home than any time in the last 3 years or so. As a buyer today, you have less buyers to compete against. Homes are about 10% cheaper than they were in April of 2022. You'll actually have a chance at negotiating repairs and terms with the seller. You likely won't have to let the seller live in your new home for months after close of escrow. You'll have a chance to get additional concessions from the seller to help you cover your closing costs or buy down your interest rate to lower your monthly payment. And if you're considering a new home, so many of these builders are offering amazing incentives like discounted interest rates, free upgrades, free solar panels, closing cost credits, and more. Well, I'm going to keep studying the market here in Riverside County, and I'll continue to deliver updates for you. But in the meantime, I suggest you keep an eye on these stats that we discussed today to give you an idea of where the market may be heading. But if you don't want to take all that time to go study all this stuff, just hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell so you're notified when I release another monthly market update video next month. Well, that wraps up my February 2023 market update, but if you have any questions or need any help with anything at all, give me a call, text, email, or drop a comment below, and I will see you in the next video.